confidence in him. So if Baba could have raised Sifuna, not even raised, if Baba could have raised Sifuna above all these other members, he could have carried that vision very good. Either Sifuna or Baba, because they carried the vision. Hao wengine walikuwa wafuasi. Unajua ukishika kipofu mkono, kwani utamwachia hawezi enda because haoni. He doesn't have any vision. So hao wengine wote unaona hao wakina Oburu wote, Wanga, Joho, Mbadi, those are people with that vision. Mahali ndio maana unaona mahali ambako Baba aliwaacha wanataka tukukaa. What if God-based fails? What is the fate of ODM? What if they fail in 2027? What if William Ruto fails? Where will ODM, will they still be in broad-based?
Wow, only kama William Ruto anaweza fail in 2027. That is not something that is going to happen.
They never believed Raila will fail in 2022. But he did. This is politics.
Raila was not in government by that time. He was part of the government but not in government. Ruto is in government and Ruto is the government. So how do you expect the government to fail?
My friend, there is no assurity in politics. Things change. Even Trump won. People believe that this lady, lady Kamala Harris, because
she was in government.
Yeah. So someone can come out of government.
But when we talk about the comparison between the US democracy and the Kenyan democracy, the US
there is nothing about democracy.
It's much different. It's much different because these are two different countries, two different logistical issues and two different impacts.
That situation, the same situation, my point is the same situation that happened in USA, happened in Kenya in 2022. And things turned out the way it turned out and many did not believe.
By that time, Ruto was the deputy president of Kenya by that time. And Raila was not the deputy president. He was in government but not the government.
A deputy president that cannot access his office.
But he used to access it.
No.
He used to access
a deputy president that cannot access the resources.
But he used to access the resources, and those are the resources that he used to get himself where he is.
Go check the history.
No, that's a story that they want to tell people, but literally Ruto used to access all these offices.
All I want to say is that, Alan, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's ODM. They must find their way. They must find they must know what they want. You see, electing a leader like Oburu is someone without future. How can someone without future? How can you trust your future with someone without future? Hana miaka mingi ya kuishi. How can you bear your future? You see, Edwin Sifuna sees the future because he has a future. He's still very young. He can see where he's going. Lakini Oburu knows very well, mimi niko na miaka kidogo ya kuishi. So how can you trust your future of ODM party with someone without future?
Not even the future of your ODM party, the future of Kenyans. You
look Raila when he got to very old. He forgot about the future of ODM. That's why ulianza kuona mgogoro ndani ya chama kwa sababu aliona huyu baba naye anatupeleka wapi. He forgot about the future of ODM. You see? Yeah. So an old man to that extent cannot be trusted with future of a party because he doesn't have a future. How do you trust someone with your future when he doesn't even have one?
So the thing to you now is that they should change the leadership of ODM now. They should be given to someone who is younger. And if it is to be given to someone who is younger, who do you think should be the leader of ODM, party leader of ODM currently?
A leader is someone who is able to provide the vision, direction, and the solution. They let them find someone who can. Let them identify the problems of ODM and see who can, and say wape kila mtu mtihani, who can provide better solutions to these problems, these wrangles, hii kutosikizana, hii kutoelewana, hii shida broad based, na kila mtu akuje na idea yake. And then let them sit down. Whose idea is the best? Then they say, wewe uko na idea fit, uko na vision power with the party, let's give you the leadership. But Oburu, no.
So for you, Oburu Odinga is not a leader.
Where was he before Raila died?
He was always following his brother.
What is the history? What has Oburu achieved? Even in Senate.
They sympathize with him because he had lost his brother. They thought the best way is to give him the leadership.
Sympathy gives nothing. Nothing is achieved on sympathy. People should work hard for them to achieve things. Achana na sympathy. if you're saying sympathy for him, why did they give Winnie? Winnie lost his father. Oburu lost his brother. Why did they?
Or they should have given to Ida Odinga, who lost
her husband. If it's all about sympathy.
But that time when she was mourning, she could not get everything right.
No. Don't say sympathy. If they make decision of with sympathy, I think this is the reason why they chose Oburu, simply because all these other deputies, Raila had a lot of deputies. All these other deputies were eyeing for this leadership, na wakaona tukupea mmoja wa madeputy au wengine pia watataka na kutakuwa na mvurugano. So let's choose this old man who seems to, hata Oburu this show any interest,
hata kaa sana
na bado hata hana haja na hii kiti sana, ndio mtu asisikie ni kama ati amenyang'anywa. Yeah, but I think they made the decision very quick.
Yeah,
they could have taken their time, called themselves together. The problem is that these things I'm saying is a responsibility of one person. Raila could have chosen one deputy to be over other deputies, to give him at least mamlaka, authority higher above this other. Someone who can call them all, kujeni, nataka tuongee. Either Abdul Swamad or someone more mature. I think Abdul Swamad fits that very well. Na ongea nao, ambie sasa tutafanya hivi na hivi na hivi. But sasa unaona all of you mko level moja. Hakuna mtu atapanga mwingine, hakuna mtu ataita mwingine. Ukiambia huyu kuja atakwambia unaniita kama nani? I'm also a deputy like you.
But the SG has the mandate to bring all these people together and give them direction.
Between the deputy and the SG, who has more authority?
But who is the spokesperson?
The spokesperson is the SG.
Yeah.
But
which means he has the authority to speak for the party. Na assistant deputy party leader akifanya kitu nyingine, the SG will that is not what the party stands for.
SG talks what is discussed in the meeting.
In the next meeting.
In the next meeting. Yeah, that's his mandate. But he cannot call the house in order. He could have done so. You think ita kama nani? You're just a member like me. Who are you to call me? Wow, watu wako na kiburi.
So that is it. And then there are rumors that we see the ODM is the breaking of ODM, whether they like it, whether they sugarcoat it, whether they meant it, it will still break. Because in ODM we have two parties: the party that is in support of the president and the party that is not in support of the president. People like Junet Mohammed, Gladys Wanga, Mbadi, Pio Andai, they are in total support of the broad-based government, and they are saying that they will support Ruto in 2027. And then there is the likes of Sifuna, Babowino, Osotsi, Hamisi, who are not in support of the broad-based government. For them, they feel like Raila wouldn't have wished us, if he was alive, he wouldn't have wished us to support William Ruto, because he said, according to the words of Sifuna, ODM should field a candidate in 2027. Now that these guys are saying, wanataka wacha wao waende, sisi tutabakia. So the break in ODM, the breakup in ODM is inevitable. Lazima itafanya nini, ita break. So what's your view on this again now? Like, do you think they should support the president, or do you think they should not support the president?
Let me just put it this way. ODM should know that when someone is dead, you're gone. You see? You're gone with the policies. Someone new should come with his policies that will move the party ahead for the sake of the current atmosphere. Wewe uliongea msimu wa mvua. Sasa ni jua. How do you deal with this drought? Maybe what you said during the rainy season cannot go well in this dry season. You see? So I'm still speaking the same thing. Raila said so, but he's dead. You see, he raised a lot of loyal soldiers to the extent that they are loyal to him even in his death, even in his absence. They just feel like Raila ameenda US atarudi, so that they can tell him, Baba, when you away. But the real thing here is, Baba is gone and is gone and is gone. Just let a new leader come. Let them put down their interests. They champion their interest above, according to the current situation. No.
Are you trying to say that Raila followers are suffering the same fate that the Jehovah Wanyonyi?
Yeah,
they don't want to accept that he died. He just travels someone, you come back.
Kila siku anashinda. You had Mbadi, a whole educated man like Mbadi saying that Raila alimletea ndoto ati akae kwa broad based 7 times. Mbadi with his education is taking instruction from the dead. We know that when someone is dead, is dead. And in fact, in some Christian teachings, when you start seeing, when you start interacting with the dead people in your dreams, it simply means that death is calling you. So you should seek a doctor, a pastor, spiritual guidance from your pastor to pray for you. So me, I sympathize with Mbadi, expecting people to obey, to hear what he's saying, to buy what he's saying. At Baba sent him dreams. So ODM will be run by dreams, or Kenya will be run by dreams from the dead. Raila is now dead. His relevance was when he was alive. He's now gone, and he's gone, and in fact, we should respect what he left us and his legacy and his family that is back. But we should accept that Raila is gone with his policies, with his style of politics, and let's begin a new chapter. You see? So, Mbadi, I will advise Mbadi, maybe the spirit of death is hunting him. And that after commander.
Mbadi knows this. If he doesn't support the current government, Mbadi's political future is dead and it will die with Raila. Most of the people should understand this, and they understand this. Their political future died with Raila. So if they don't support the current government, they will never be there. They will never be anywhere when it comes to politics, because these are the people whose voting or who's winning the votes was made possible by Raila.
That's how they raised them. That's how they were raised. That's why people like Babu Owino, they saw the future before the future came, na wakaamua kuanza kujipanga mapema. Walijua huko mbele, waliona huyu mzee sasa ako na miaka ngapi, mambo itakuja kuharibika siku moja. You see, that's why you see in Luo Nyanza. Luo Nyanza is the poorest community in Kenya. It have few richest, but the poverty is the poorest in Kenya. I don't know the second after Turkana of the poorest.
Ajalo atakuletea noma wewe.
Tunasema ukweli. Kwa nini?
Okay, when talk about poor, what do you mean?
Let me tell you.
Does it mean they don't have resources? They have resources.
Let me tell you this. Yes. Let me tell you this. Luo Nyanza, why is it poor? This poor roads, no electricity. Me myself, I live in Sia County. No electricity. We are bordering with Vihiga County. Just on the border there is electricity from Vihiga County. But for us there is no electricity. Poor roads.
Are you trying to say the government in
they are doing nothing because that's what they've been doing. They just know what I have to do for me to win again. Just be loyal to Baba. There's no need of delivering. Let me just be loyal to Baba, na hiyo makamisho mimi nitakuja ni gwaragwara barabara, and then Baba atakuja niinue mkono aseme fulani tosha. That's what made Gladys Wanga Gladys Wanga. Kwa hivyo I will advise Gladys Wanga awache kibelebele, because no Luo can listen to Gladys Wanga. Ataambia nini watu? There's no water in Homa Bay. Gladys Wanga have built an office worth 800 million where there's no hospitals in Homa Bay. There was another office built by Supriya Nawiti, you see, but Wanga has come again and built another office worth 800 million. And William Ruto proudly went to launch that office. How many hospitals have been launched in Homa Bay? How many schools? Water. Where is water? Have you gone to Homa Bay?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That county is a mess. Na ukiona vile gavana wao anatembea na kimbelembele, sasa mjadala gani atasikia Gladys Wanga? Even if Luos now are very desperate for a kingpin. Me, I would ask my people from Luo Nyanza, do you need the kingpin or do you need the queenpin?
Of course, Gladys Wanga is not among the people who can be the kingpin within the Luo community, and you understand how the Luo community works. You rarely hear a woman leader, a woman being a kingpin among the Luo.
Gladys Wanga,
it has always been men all through. Okay, you can talk about the legends of those other women that are mentioned here and there, but in this era, do you think a woman can be a woman leader, a woman can be a kingpin in Luo community?
If you hear the confidence that Wanga is giving Ruto, that she will gather votes from Nyanza, she believes she is a force
That she has a voice. Okay, has she ever gathered even a campaign of 20?
That's why that's what I'm saying here. Turudi kwa ground, Raila ndo alimshika mkono and made her win. She's never done anything by herself.
And if people listen to her, it was because she mentioned Raila. And Raila was there.
That's why they are continuing to say, Baba alituacha. But they don't recognize that Baba is gone and separated from the living. And he's very far from ODM and is not watching ODM because as Christians we believe, the Bible says that there's a very big wall between the living and the dead. And no one can cross on the other side of the dead cannot cross to the living and the living cannot cross to the dead. So when we are seeing dreams of the dead when sleeping like Bobby, that's a demonic attack. You see? Yeah. So let ODM learn that Baba is gone. Let them come together. Let them champion the interest of the party, not the interest of Ruto. Saying that is Ruto's interest. That means that they are very desperate for a leader. Now they want Ruto to lead them. Because Baba will negotiate on behalf of ODM. Only Baba had the guts to negotiate with Ruto. Otherwise, hao wamebaki Ruto atapewa instruction, not negotiation.
So let's talk about that. Ruto not giving them, not negotiating, but giving them instructions. Like, how sure are they that there are those people supported Ruto with everything they had in 2022? When the very people in ODM, the likes of Gladys Awanga, Mbadi, Junet Mohammed, were really abusing Ruto and not really making sure that Ruto doesn't become a president in 2022. Like, doesn't become a president now.
Yeah.
And now that they're in the government and they're supporting it, who makes them feel that Ruto will favor them over those people who started with Ruto when Ruto had nothing?
Maybe they believe in the saying that in politics there's no permanent friendship or enmity, and Ruto maybe will honor his word, and maybe they'll go into a written agreement and sign. You see now an agreement is like a bond, you must fulfill it. And maybe that's what gives them confidence. Or the respect of Ruto to Raila Amolo Odinga.
No, who told them that Ruto will obey, Ruto will still be loyal to Raila Amolo Odinga when Raila is dead? And who told them that? Because whatever they are working with now is the agreement that they had when Raila was still alive. The very agreement that Sifuna says he knows it much better than them because he is the one who drafted it. It's not like Mbadi and all these other people that it's in the Sifuna who drafted it under the guidance of Raila. Now Raila is gone, and that agreement goes up to 2027. Past 2027, that agreement doesn't work. Now, who tells them that Ruto will still honor and say, okay guys, just work with me because
they are darkened by someone like that is darkened by that demons that visits him in dream in the name of Raila. Yeah, he's still loyal to the dead. That loyalty is the one that is actually lying to him. And maybe they'll be disappointed. They'll be. Especially when we as the youth, we are going to rise very powerful. Very powerful, and you will not hear these things of ODM anymore. You will not hear UD anymore. It will be the Gen Zs. And the people who will, let me just address William Ruto as early as now. The people who will decide the fate of the president in 2027 are the Gen Zs of the Republic of Kenya. Forget about the ODM. Forget about all that nonsense.
Do you still believe the presidency in any country in this world is determined by the voters?
Of course I do.
So you believe in democracy?
Of course I do.
But does democracy really work?
It does, partially, because you see, the thing of democracy is complicated because democracy only exists on earth. There's no democracy in heaven or in hell.
Or in spiritual matters, do you have democracy?
No, there's no democracy. The democracy is only in the world and on this physical world.
So it's a human instituted